I recently learned that on July 24th, 2018, a ban on early voting sites on Florida college campuses was lifted by a federal court as it was deemed unconstitutional. After this, early voting was given to the students of FSU, UF, USF, and UCF, and after a legal battle, the League of Women Voters helped to bring early voting to not only FIU, but also to Miami-Dade College as well. That being said, why can't we be next? With over 30,000 students attending Seminole State, this college is the definite next step in early voting at colleges. According to a study by the Andrew Goodman Foundation on the 2018 general election, nearly 60,000 Florida college students in 9 counties voted at their campuses' early voting sites in the 2018 general election. 56% of those students were between the ages of 18 and 29. Significantly more students 18 to 22, over 38%, cast a ballot at their early voting site on their college campus. According to the Associated Press, about 37% of all people in the same age bracket voted in 2018, which was a 15% increase from the prior general election in 2016. The increase can almost be entirely credited to 2 things: an increase in interest among people my age, and early voting sites being more accessible to students that attend college campuses. In fact, the same AP article goes on to discuss how voting on college campuses directly affected this increase. When you continue to read the article published by the Andrew Goodman Foundation, you see those 9 counties, Orange and Miami-Dade among them. So I once again ask, why can't Seminole State and Seminole County be next? Thank you.
Hello, my name is India Cooper. I reside at 576 Sable Palm Circle, Altamont Springs, 7232701. Now, voting is a prime aspect of democracy. It's a practice of a responsible, thoughtful, and civic-minded individual. I believe that the purpose of a college education is to aid in creating this sort of figure. However, there are unfortunately existing issues surrounding voting, namely lack of participation, voter suppression, and a lack of constancy of voting. I, along with the other speakers today, are proposing a possible solution that can be implemented that will help increase voter participation in our community, especially among our fellow students for this upcoming general election. The addition of an early voting booth on Seminole State College's Sanford campus will be an invaluable tool in increasing voter turnout among America's 18 to 24 demographic, combating voter suppression, and helping build a long life habit of voting for our students. On increasing voter turnout among the 18 to 24 demographic, it's shown by the U.S. Census Bureau from their 2018 data that from 1972 to 2016, the proportion of youth ages 18 to 24 who reported voting in presidential elections decreased from 50 to 39%. Possible reasons for this decrease in participation are they're not asked or encouraged to vote by candidates, campaigns, family, friends, or neighbors. They're not taught how the government and elections work or feel like they don't know enough to vote. They're not interested in politics or feel like voting won't make a difference. That's coming from Youth Service America 2018. If we were to implement early voting booth here on Seminole State's campus, that would create an environment where students would be more comfortable with engaging in the political process because they're encouraged not only by their peers, but their community and their administrations. Lastly, there are too many barriers for them to overcome. This ties into combating voter suppression. Many reasons for voters not participating to the extent that they needed to for the 2016 elections are among the following reasons. They're too busy or had a conflict on election day, they couldn't afford to spend time in a long line, lack of transportation or inconvenient hours or location of polling place, trouble locating their polling place, or registration problems. If we had a polling place here on campus, proximity would not be an issue for students since they're already here from day to day anyway, and they will have a community of peers that will help them out with that process of registering and understanding the candidates. And then lastly, on building the lifelong habit of voting, practicing political engagement from an early age, early on, can make the world of voting and other forms of political participation less intimidating to our students. Voting in college, supported by the community, peers, and administration, increases comfort and enthusiasm towards the political process and acts as a springboard for more engagement in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy and Patrick. Thank you. Next up is Keith Kong. He's an alumni of Seminole State College, speaking also on early voting. Keith, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Keith Kong, and 908 Lake Destiny Road, Altamont Springs, Florida.
If you start talking, it'll start.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Keith, and I graduated from SSC back in 2015. I actually started coming here when I was in the 10th grade through a program called dual enrollment. So basically, I would spend the first half of the day in high school, and then I would come here for a head start in college credits. The courses that I took were in criminal justice. So as you can imagine, with so many people getting ready to work in law enforcement, one of the things that we really had to study was the Constitution. It was right here on this campus that I learned that the 15th, 19th, and 26th Amendment all pertain to preventing government from infringing on people's rights to vote. But what I think is more important is the language that these amendments use. Contrary to what Governor DeSantis might think, all of these amendments refer to voting as a right, not a privilege. SSC, Seminole State College, it's a local fixture. It's supposed to be seen as a community hub. So while the Constitution doesn't directly speak to SSC's early voting or voting policies, I would hope that everyone here could see the importance of them. During the 2018 election, nearly 60,000 votes were cast on college campuses across the state of Florida. And I think it's a shame that SSC would be so late to the party, because to me and a lot of people here, voting on campus is a no-brainer. I also feel that I'm not alone when I say that I find it pretty hypocritical that a board of trustees that consists of about half of the members being either current or previously elected officials would even consider standing in the way of something like this. Amy Lockhart, County Commissioner. Susan Fernandez, former director in the United States Senate. Bob Cortez served as a commissioner, mayor, and in the House of Representatives. If you were to take a poll on this campus, I would bet my bottom dollar that the majority of tuition-paying students here would be in favor of having the option to vote on campus. So as an alumni, I want to be proud to tell people that I went to Seminole State College, but I will be deeply disappointed if an issue this important doesn't so much as make it on the agenda of the next board meeting. I think it's very clear what the people here want. Thank you for your time.
Next up, I have Joseph Holmes, accessibility for students with disabilities. Welcome, Joseph.
My name is Joseph Holmes. Although everyone knows me as J.J. Holmes, my address is 1620 Ridge Avenue, Longwood, 32750. Right now, I'm still a student at Lake Mary High School, but I plan on going to college when I graduate. And being able to access all areas of life in America is very, very important to me. Okay, spoiler alert. This may come as a shock to some of you here, but I'm actually disabled. I wanted to come here today to ask you to consider allowing early voting here. It would obviously make my life at college, as a student with disabilities, much easier, and I'm sure every other student would welcome having the opportunity to vote right here on campus too. You know, throughout middle school and high school, students learn about civics, and we are taught the importance of being civically engaged. How totally awesome if SSC advances and encourages this lesson by setting up early voting here. Currently, students across America are really energized and have recently been voting in higher numbers. Not sure why. LOL. So it makes sense to put polls where they're needed most. Studies show that making voting convenient improves turnout. We live in the biggest and most exceptional democracy in the world. So I'd love for my local college to lead the way and take access to voting out of the shade and show it some Florida sunshine. Finally, even though I'm off school today, I thought this subject was important enough to give up an afternoon on social media to come here to speak. And if that effort doesn't tell you how meaningful this is to me, then I don't know what will. Thank you for listening.